Happiness is a journey towards, not the destination. It is something that we all want and we all chase. And that may be the problem. We keep continuing to chase happiness, thinking that once we do one thing or once one thing is achieved, then we will be happy. But it isn't the achievement of the thing that creates happiness. It's actually the journey, the objective, the mission. It's the path of going toward that achievement that is true happiness. You see, happiness is action. When you are in the process of creating, doing, or problem solving something that you really enjoy and want to do, that is when you experience true happiness. It comes down to self-awareness. Self-awareness is the process of really knowing oneself, knowing yourself and what it is that you enjoy, don't enjoy, and understanding the processes by which you create that enjoyment, by really taking into account how you do what you want, and in fact, what it is that you want. Action equals happiness. When we get into dissecting what that really means, when we are pursuing a goal, when we are seeking to achieve a dream, it is the excitement, it is the unraveling, the discovery, the exploration, the understanding of what it means to actually achieve that dream, what it takes to achieve that dream. As we get closer and closer to the process of that achievement, we learn so much about ourselves. As you continue to unravel and discover who you are, you begin to get a clue as to your true potential. And this is the excitement. This is the joy around creation, action, and happiness. When you are creating, which is your absolute true nature, is to create because you are the creator, then you are living in your truest self. You are aligned with your true self. That's a part of the reason why you experience happiness when you are in action of doing something or pursuing a goal, a dream, a passion. Now, that doing or that action, it can be a hobby, it can be, a task, it can be a profession, it can simply be being still. Because even in being still, the objective of stillness, like meditation, contemplation, the action is happening here in the mind or in the spirit. There is always some doing happening. There is always a objective. There is always something to aspire to. And as you continue to move forward in living in your true nature of being a creator, you get to tap into your power, you get to tap into your essence, you get to tap into who you are. That is part of the joy, that is part of the happiness. Your consciousness is happy. The issue is the mind, all the things going on in your mind, all the programs, the triggers, those things tend to dumb down, it tends to diminish, it tends to blur the space between your consciousness and how you're actually experiencing life. But the great thing about the mind is once you figure out how the mind works, then you can live into your truest form, you can live into your truest essence of consciousness, which is being absolutely happy. Now, you have to come to a place, though, where you are going to control, manage the mind, and practice the things that I'm talking about. So with the mind is simply a computer, a problem-solving computer. It loves to solve problems. That is, in fact, what it does, right? And whether it is to create something that can be seen as a problem, whether it is to experience something that can be seen as a problem. Now, obviously, we're not talking about problems in the negative sense. We're talking about problem solving, how to solve something, how to come up with a solution, how to come up with a way, a strategy. Your mind is ultimately a strategist, and you have to practice in using the ability to strategize. And the strategy or the strategist's objective is to create. Now, what are you creating? That is up to you. That is up to what your consciousness wants to create. Your consciousness is unique. Your consciousness has many talents, many goals, many things that brings it joy. When you are doing something that makes you the most happy, that is in alignment with your consciousness. When you are creating something, whether you are creating music, whether you're creating a sculpture, pottery, whether you are, even creating a workout plan, whether you're creating a recipe, it depends on you as the individual. When you come into contact and make that connection with the things that truly ignite your consciousness, then you have to manage how the mind processes the reality of life and how you're going to live in alignment with that thing. And happiness means that your consciousness and your mind are in alignment. Your consciousness speaks to you through joy and happiness. Your mind creates strategies on how to be in action and in alignment with the things that you in your consciousness actually want. So once you come to an understanding of how to use these two things and you bring them together, that creates fulfillment. That creates an existence, an experience of life that we all strive for and all want to experience. The problem is we don't know how to do it, or our minds are so confused that we disregard the things that we are passionate about. We disregard the things that brings us joy, and we feel like, well, that's not going to pay the bills. That's not practical. When in fact, it is the most practical thing one can do. When in fact, when you align yourself correctly with it, along with your mind, and strategize, how can I do this? Make a living by doing it, a good living, and pay the bills. That's the ultimate question and the ultimate goal of bringing these two minds, or these two things together: the consciousness, which is a mind, which is somewhat of a mind, and then the actual mind that you have within your brain to process information, to make decisions, to do things, to strategize, to come up with answers and solutions. So once you bring those two together, then you create a space of complete bliss, because you are actually living in alignment with who you really are, and not just chasing this idea of what success is supposed to look like based on what society says. Ultimately, what we're talking about here is happiness is the result, the byproduct of you living on purpose, you living with purpose. Your purpose is ultimately what your consciousness is speaking to you about. That thing you wake up thinking about, the thing you constantly wonder, I wonder if I can do this. I really would like to do this. Your purpose is directly connected with what you want to do. Be your authentic self. Do what you want. Don't waste life. Don't waste precious time, precious energy doing things you do not want to do. Live your life on purpose, with purpose. And that purpose is what's being whispered in your mind to you constantly from your consciousness to figure out. Because the more you ignore it, the more that negativity, that depression, that anxiety, that hole or that void within inside of you will continue to grow. So be mindful. Allow your mind to figure out ways to align yourself, align your life around the things that your consciousness is speaking to you and moving you towards doing. And that is where you get to create a life that you can be proud of and happy, fully engaged, and fully in the process of showing others, because your fulfillment is not just about you. Your fulfillment is also a beacon, a light for other people to see and witness So that way they themselves can do the same thing. They themselves can question if what they are doing is truly making them happy. As you live out your purpose, as you align yourself to be happy through action, of living in alignment with your consciousness, following curiosity, following passion, following what you want to do, then you are not only fulfilled and happy, but you then inspire others. You contribute to humanity by being a beacon, by being happy, by being vibrant, and also being inspiring to others. When they look at you and say, wow, this person is truly in alignment with who they are, they can see themselves in you. They can see that it's possible for them to do it as well. This is the true essence of why we're here. So, do what you want. And remember that your happiness is the journey. Your happiness is the doing. Your happiness is the being. Peace and abundance always.